everyone! Thanks for tuning into my show. I've got a fun crochet vest pattern to share with you today. The level is intermediate to advanced, so if you're just starting out crochet, check out some of my easier tutorials first and come back to this one. I'll link a couple of those below in the description. I'm not going to be going into every single detail of the pattern in this tutorial, but the written pattern is available on my website at ilj.com, and I'll link that in the description below. These are the 6 colors I picked out for my vest. Now you can pick out any yarn and colors that you would like. It is important that you are consistent with the yarn weight for all the colors. I've picked out a weight 4 acrylic. So these are all weight 4 acrylic. You could probably go a little bit smaller, like a weight 3 or a weight 5. Just keep in mind, if you go bulkier, your vest is going to be bulkier. If you go thinner, your vest is going to be thinner. A little bit smaller. So that's one adjustment you can make. Details for the other sizes will be available in the written pattern, but you'll need at least a pretty big skein for each color, or if you're only doing 1 or 2 colors, you're probably going to want about 5 skeins, or 1,080 yards of yarn for an adult medium. That's the size I'll be doing today. You're also going to need a size 6mm crochet hook and a pair of scissors. Why don't you gather up all the colors that you want to use? Don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's get started. So grab your first color choice and begin with a slip knot. And now for the adult medium, we're going to chain 109 plus 2. So 111. Once you have your chain, we're going to start row 1 in the 3rd chain from our hook. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to start with 3 double crochets into that chain. And I'll show you once, just quickly, yarn over, insert through the chain. I'm picking up 2 loops here. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the stitch we're going to be using for pretty much this whole pattern. Now go ahead and do 2 more double crochets into that same chain. Okay, and then moving on, in the next 25 chain, we're just going to do 1 double crochet in each one. 1, 2, 3, 'Here's our 25 double crochet. And now we're going to double crochet the next 3 chain together. So do a yarn over, insert through the chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over again, pull through 2. Now hold here, and we'll start our next stitch. So yarn over again, insert through the 2nd chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to do the 3rd stitch, so yarn over, insert through the 3rd chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you should have 4 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. So we just double crocheted 3 together, and then we're going to continue doing another 25 double crochet into the next 25 chain. So you can see here that decrease that we just did is going to be the V part of our chevron pattern. So continue with another 25 double crochet. Once you've done another 25 stitches, we're then going to double crochet 3 into the next chain. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to continue with another 25 double crochet into the next 25 chain. After another 25 stitches, we're going to repeat the decrease we did before, which is the double crochet 3 together. And I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, insert through the chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again. It's 2. And then with the 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 to do the 3 stitches together. Now continue with another 25 double crochet just like we've been doing, and then you should be right at the end of your row, and then we're going to do 3 stitches into the last stitch just like how we began. Alright, you should be on your last chain now, and we're going to do 3 double crochet stitches into that last chain. Alright, so that's the end of the row, and now we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. So we're going to go back in the other direction, and we're going to repeat row 1, except there's only one small difference, is that this section's going to have 26 stitches. The 2 middle sections will have 25, and then the other end will have 26 too. So let me show you this whole thing at once. This is what row 1 looks like. So we started over here, and we did 3 in the first stitch, and then we did 25 stitches, decrease, 25 stitches, increase, 25 stitches, decrease, 25 stitches, and those 3 stitches on the end are actually a 1 stitch increase. So when we start row 2, you're going to chain 2, which will not count as a stitch, and then you're going to double crochet 3 in the first one, and then it'll be 26 stitches here, decrease, and then 25 here, increase, 25 again, do the decrease, and then another 26 here, and then 3 in the last one. So these side panels are increasing by 1 stitch, while these middle ones will remain at 25. So to begin row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. And our chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and nor will it for the rest of the pattern. So we're going to start with 3 double crochet into that very first stitch. And then continue with 26 double crochets into the next 26 stitches. After 26 stitches, you're going to do the decrease again with double crochet 3 together. So it's just like we did before, we're just working into the stitches instead of the chain. It's 2, 3, all together. So we're just doing a 1 row repeat pretty much. The only difference is that with that 1 stitch increase on the end. Even though we're doing 3 on the end, it's actually only 1 stitch increase when you account for the decrease. So you did 26, decrease. Now we're going to do 25 more until we get to the center point. After 25 more double crochets, you should be right in the middle of your work. And you can see where this point is, where we did the 3 stitches in row 1. We're always going to be doing 3 stitches in that center stitch for our increase. So do 3 into 1. Like that, and then work 25 more double crochets and pretty much just repeat what we did on this side where you did 25, do your decrease at the valley or the V, and then 26 stitches to the end, and then 3 in the last one. So this is just a 1 row repeat we're going to do for a total of 5 rows. This is what the work looks like after 5 rows. And now we're going to change colors here. So go ahead and cut your yarn, and you can pull that tail through the last loop. And I'm just going to wait until the end to weave in all the ends because there's going to be a lot. I'd rather just do it all at once. And now we're going to change color, and I'll show you how to do that. So pick out your second color choice and make another slip knot. And now just do a slip stitch into the very first stitch and chain 2. And now we'll continue with the pattern. Row 6 through 32 is going to be a 1 row repeat, and it's pretty much what we've been doing, except we're going to do only 2 stitches at the beginning and at the end. So go ahead and do 2 double crochet into the very first stitch. And now we should be at 30 double crochets before we get to our first decrease. So go ahead and double crochet 1 in each for 30 stitches. And just continue with this pattern. So you'll do 2 on the ends now, 30 stitches, decrease. Still at 25, increase, 25, decrease, and then 30 and 2 on the end. And that's how we're going to repeat until row 32, and you can change colors as you would like. This is what the work looks like at row 32. This completes section 1, and now we'll move on to section 2 and 3. Okay, starting section 2, we're going to go back to where row 1 is, and we're going to be working into the back side of this first row. Starting in one of those outside corners, it doesn't matter which side because it's going to be symmetrical. But get a new color of yarn and do your slip knot. And right into that first chain, it's just going to be a single loop here. Do a slip stitch and then chain 2. That does not count as our first stitch, and we're going to double crochet the first 2 together. So go back into that same loop, incomplete double crochet, and then into the second loop or chain, do double crochet those 2 together. Okay, so we're just going to be working down this row just into that loop of our foundation row, and just do 1 double crochet into each loop or chain or stitch or whatever we want to call it. And we're going to do 25 double crochets, not counting those first 2. So you do 2 together and then 25 more double crochets. And then we should be at this corner. Alright, once you've done 25 stitches, you should be about right at this first corner, and here we're actually going to chain 2 and turn our work. And now, working into row 2 of section 2, we're just going to double crochet 1 in each stitch, and this chain does not count as our stitch, so go ahead and double crochet right into that very first stitch and just do 1 in each back down the same side, and then we're going to double crochet the last 2 together. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row, and we're gonna double crochet the last 2 together, and it's a little bit hard to see which is the last 2 and which is our chain, but another way you can tell is go back and count. You should have done 24 double crochets, and then the last 2 we'll do together. Like that. And we're going to repeat this for 10 rows. So we're doing a decrease each time we're on this side, and we're keeping this end straight. So we're decreasing by 1 for each row. So we had 2 together, and then 25 double crochet, and then we did 24 double crochet, and then 2 together. And we're going to repeat this for 10 rows. So starting row 3, chain 2, turn your work. Oh, and then we're actually going to start a new color here. So cut that actually. And take out that chain. And starting with a new color, we're just going to do the same thing we did with the orange, where we do a slip stitch into the first stitch, chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet the first 2 together. So just repeat these rows where we're doing that decrease on one side and keeping the other edge straight, and we're going to do that for 10 rows. This is what section 2 looks like after 10 rows. Now go ahead and repeat this on the other side for section 3. It should be identical, and then we'll move on to section 4. Once you've done sections 2 and 3, we're going to start section 4. And so it's pretty much we're just doing the V shape in the middle. And again, you can start on either corner, either this one or this one, because it's going to be symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. And with the same color you did here, get new yarn, make a slip knot again, and see where this stitch is coming out of? We're going to skip one. We're going to start into this stitch, or the back of this. This is still the foundation chain, so we're just going to go right into there with a slip stitch. So skip one, and then in this one, slip stitch, chain 2. Again, that does not count as a stitch. And we're going to do 1 into that very first one, and again we're going to go 25 double crochet. Once you've done 25, we should be at this valley here, in which we'll do our double crochet 3 together to keep this same V shape where it is, and then we'll go back up the other side. This is what the first row of section 4 looks like. We did 25 double crochet 3 together, and then another 25 double crochet, and then you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and go back and forth in this section, repeating this. So you're just doing the decrease at the center and keeping the ends straight. Do this for 10 rows. For section 5, we're going to start at one of these top outside corners in section 2 or 3, And with a new color or the same color, doesn't matter, we're going to repeat what we were doing in these sections, but we're going to connect the tops. We're going to connect them all. So you're going to start here, going to double crochet 2 together. Then you're going to double crochet 15. Then you're going to chain 7 to get to this corner, in which then you will continue with the pattern that we were doing in section 4. When you get to the other corner of section 4, you're going to chain 7 again and go back down the other side panel. This is what row 1 in section 5 looks like. We're pretty much just continuing the pattern we were doing in sections 2, 3, and 4, and we're just connecting them with 7 chain. So when you go back for row 2, we're still decreasing on the ends and in the center, and you're going to double crochet 7 stitches where those chain stitches are. After you've gotten 5 rows into section 5, picking up right where you left off, we're just going to go straight across now. So no decreasing on the ends or the center. There should be 60 stitches. We're just going to go back and forth with 60 double crochet so our ends will be straight, and this is going to start to create our hood. This is what the work looks like after another 25 rows of just going up straight with 60 double crochet stitches. So section 5 has 30 rows in total. We did 5 here and then another 25 here. Now don't cut your yarn yet, because what we're going to do is fold this in half, and then you can either use your crochet hook to stitch these 2 edges together with a slip stitch or single crochet stitch, or you could cut your yarn, give yourself a long tail, and use a yarn needle to do a running stitch to sew this section. So picking up right where we left off, chain 1 and then line up the corners, make sure your work is straight. And then to single crochet together, you're literally just picking up 2 stitches, 1 on each side, pulling through and doing a single crochet. Like that. You can also do a slip stitch, which would be the same thing, except you just pull through. That, no yarn over. So it looks pretty much the same. I think the single crochet is a little bit bulkier, but we're going to be turning this inside out anyway, so that the seam's on the inside, so you're not really going to notice anyway. It's really just a matter of personal preference which way you want to sew this up. After you finish the hood, the last step is to add a border and weave in your ends. I just did 4 rows of single crochet, starting in the bottom corner, going up and around the hood, back down the other side as 1 row, and so repeat that 4 times. I did about 2 stitches per every row in section 1, 2, and 3, and you can add some buttons wherever you want. I added them about right where we began and then where we started section 2. And here's the finished vest for you again. I hope you guys like this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any questions. Details for the pattern, including different sizes, are available in the written pattern at ilj.com. I've linked that in the description. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on all my newest projects. Thanks for watching!